And let's get in there. So today is our second session together, but our first true training session. Today is getting started with kvCORE. Okay, so we are going to go over things like what that agent quick start covers. So you know what we're going to talk about today versus what we're going to talk about next week. I do apologize for stating the wrong time at the end of our session last week. So I'm glad you're all here. Thank you, Alex, for a quick email getting clarification. So I apologize for anyone that threw you off. I had incorrect in my notes, so I apologize about that. So yes, next week we'll be at the same time, also at noon, also on the same Zoom link. We'll go over, again, the agent quick start today, what we're going to do today, what we'll talk about next week. We'll talk about your profile, why that's important, and then we're going to dive into how the system works. kvCORE is powered by a lot of automation. So how do you make adjustments to that automation? What do you still need to do? What's your job? What's kvCORE going to tackle for you? Just how the system works in general, all the way from when you get new leads into the system to closing those deals. Right. So we'll walk through kind of that client journey, that client life cycle. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We'll also review those action items in the Agent Quick Start. Each section has a list of action items for you to complete. That's where you actually do the things that you just learned how to do. And it's a nice little checklist for you to make sure you're understanding how the system is going to work. So we'll make sure that you can, I'll chat those out to you as well so you can have that. All right, so the Agent Quick Start, when you first log into kvCORE, it's in this top right-hand corner of your dashboard. So here's a lot of training resources. We have a ton of resources for you. Quite a few courses. I think we have 40 ongoing live webinars. We've got chat, we've got articles. To help you focus, you just want to start right here with this very first course, this Agent Quick Start course. Okay, so if you click on that, it'll open it up in another tab. We've got our Agent Quick Start course, and I can scroll down and view the curriculum from here if I kind of want to know when I'm going to learn about what. I can also just jump right in to start the course right there. So as you're going through the course, you'll notice that it is separated into really 4 sections. There is a conclusion, which is their 1-minute video. And then there is also replays. Now, these replays are expanded versions of each of these, and they're expanded versions of what we get to do together. So for us today, we are going to cover setting up kvCORE, and we're going to cover managing your contacts and automation. Okay, so that's things like your profile, working your dashboard, downloading the apps, and then what are deal types and deal statuses and hashtags? So how do we categorize your leads and your contacts within kvCORE? And what does that affect? What automation does that affect? What kind of filtering and sorting does that affect? How can you still manage your leads personally? All that kind of good stuff. Next week is when we're going to really thoroughly explore your website, what it looks like, how visitors use it, what the client portal looks like, how they can interact with you, what those notifications look like to you when they come your way. And we're also going to cover fueling up your pipeline because kvCORE is powered by leads, right? In order for this automation to work, you have to have people in the system to automate communication with. So we're going to go over all these different ways to get contacts into kvCORE, whether it's a bulk import of your current contacts. So mass adding people, that'll be next week. It might be connecting the lead sources you already have, like Zillow, Realtor.com, Realtor.ca for you. If you are doing listings to leads, there's so many different lead sources that we connect with. And then we'll also go over the things that live within kvCORE. So what are the free versions and how can you outsource that and just have us pay for your advertising for you? So that's going to be next week, website and new leads. This week, we're going to do some setup and how to manage your contacts. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to go through, change those settings as I said, so you can unmute yourself. Don't feel like you have to. Lots of you have already found the chat. That is a great way to ask questions, get some answers. But for those of you who would rather just ask a question, you can now unmute yourself. I think I got all of you. There we go. Brooklyn, it looks like you are on an old version of Zoom. That just means you can't unmute yourself, but you can definitely use that chat and you could update it by the time you come back next time if you'd like. So go ahead and use that chat. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like. Just ask that you be mindful of background noise and leave yourself muted if you're in, a Starbucks or something like that. All right. So we're going to start with our profile. The profile is just something that kind of important to do. Actually, step back. As you're going through the training, today you get to meet with me. We have lots of question and answer time. And next week you get to meet with me also. In between those sessions, though, if you do have questions, you are not on your own. There is support with this smiley face chat widget. You can ask any questions here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, there is a bot. Okay, the bot is what's here 24 hours a day. It's a pretty good bot. It answers about 30% of all the questions, which is pretty good for industry standards. Now, if you need a person after that, you just say, I need a person, and then you wait in line. Now, it's not usually an hour. My demo account, they ignore us so that, they take a little longer to get back to us, but it'll tell you kind of what the expected reply time is. And you don't have to sit here in kvCORE and wait for the answer. That's the good news. You just keep an eye on your email. They will email you when your question gets picked up by a real life person. So my advice to you is to be as thorough as possible when you come in here to ask a question. So that way we could really start diving in and analyzing, okay, did you need a certain article? Did you need clarification on how something works? What is something actually not working and we need to fix it? What's going on? Additional help and support is here on the left-hand side, so support and training. There is a ton of articles in here. I'm going to share a couple with you today. You can see we've got some set up for you for basics, but you can also click on the kvCORE logo, and that's going to take you to a whole library of articles. And I'm going to get us started with this kvCORE dictionary. The kvCORE dictionary, I shared it with us last week, but it's a good place to go to really understand kind of the terminology within kvCORE. Make sure we're kind of all on the same page there, especially when we get down to the categories, right? We're going to dive deep into these categories of your leads and your contacts so you understand how that affects the different systems of organization, of communication, of automation that exist within kvCORE. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our profile. This is pretty much covered in our section 1 action item, which I'm going to chat to you now. That can be found within the Learning Portal course, can be found right here now as well that I've chatted it to you. And it's important to complete your profile, right? Things like your email signature, your bio, so that way kvCORE is set up to run optimally. You want your MLS ID in here so we know which listings are yours. You want your email signature in here so that way as emails are being sent through kvCORE, you have a signature there. So you definitely want to take a minute to fill out your profile. That is in the top right corner of your kvCORE dashboard. You click on your name up there, and the fourth item down is your profile. So go ahead and click on that. And any questions before I dive in, any outstanding questions that you are dying to know about the profile, chat them in, unmute yourself, ask them, anything like that? All right, we'll just go over the quick highlights then and let me know if anything comes up. So for example, if you want to edit, you need to click this edit profile button. Okay. Now, really, you just want to do all the things on this list. One thing not on this list that is very important is your photo. right? You want to have an image there. This image is going to show both on your agent website, but also on your company website as well in the agent roster. So you want to make sure people know what you look like. You want to have your MLS ID right here. If you're not sure what that is, we have this cool tool. You can just add in, any listing that you either have or have had in the past, and it will pull up and show you what your MLS ID is. You can also have more than one. So if you are part of more than one MLSs, or more than one board IDs, you can add more than one in there. You just need to put a comma between them, no spaces. Something to point out is this social media. Having a social media here is going to allow you to connect with your consumers. It's just another way for them to get to know you. So let me show you on my demo account what that looks like. So next week, again, we'll go deep into your website. In my account, you can see in the profile that I have something listed in my Facebook, right? F for Facebook, I have a profile linked in there. So when someone is on my website, you might see in the top right corner, it's kind of small, so I say might. You might see there's a little F right there also for Facebook. And so that means you can click on that and it's going to take you to my Facebook profile. So adding your social links in here allows consumers and visitors that come to your website another way to connect with you and another way to get to know you. In addition, having your About Me or your bio is a great way to help them get to know you as well. And last but not least, your email signature. If you already have an email signature, you can just copy and paste it in here. If you have something that's like nice HTML coded, you can throw that in here. You can add images in here. You can add links in here. So for example, I have put a link back to my kvCORE website where, if you're getting emails from me, you might want to know what your home value is, right? And I did the same exact thing twice. And so it gives a nice link back to my kvCORE website. So that way they can find out what their home value is worth. And when you're done making any and all changes, you can scroll up to the top and click Save. Any questions about the profile? All right, let's get into the good stuff. So kvCORE is designed to run all these different areas of your business, right? It's designed to help you respond quickly to the people who need your attention. It's designed for you to consistently give real estate information to keep in contact and build trust. And it's designed to build relationships as well, right? Outside of lead generation, which we'll talk about next week. First, we're going to show you how the follow-up works so that way you know what's going on when you start filling up that funnel. Now, best practice is as you are learning how to use the system, kvCORE, you want to add yourself in as a test lead. Now, this is part of section 2 action items that I'm going to chat to you right now, is adding yourself in as a test lead. Now, it doesn't have to be you. It could be a friend, a family member. You can add more than one. You are not limited here. But you do want at least one person so that way you can start pushing the buttons, right? I want to know how to edit a search alert. I can watch a million videos and read articles, but until I go in and actually do it, that's when it's really, really, really going to start sticking with me. Okay. Uh-oh, Brooklyn. Brooklyn seems to be having has a black screen and no audio. Uh-oh, but she found her chat, so okay, I'm gonna give them the same advice I gave Mike, which seemed to work for him. Try leaving and coming back. Hopefully that works for Brooklyn. Okay. All right. So as you have people in kvCORE, as I mentioned, there's quite a few systems where you can automate your follow-up with them. So for example, I'm going to pick just one of my leads here. I'm going to click Tiffany. So if I click on Tiffany's name, it's going to take me to her lead detail record where I can find all of my information that my heart might possibly want to know about my history with Tiffany. It's going to start with where she is along her client journey. So these are called statuses. Okay, the status is the primary way that kvCORE has you relate to your leads and contacts, right? And so we have these statuses right here. Oh, let me chat this out to you, an article on our statuses. And so the goal of any CRM, the goal of your business is to get more clients, right? To close more deals, right? So we are going to work with our prospects, new leads, and active leads to funnel them into becoming clients so we can enter into contracts with offers and counteroffers and transaction management systems so we can close out that deal, right? That's our goal. Prospects, new leads, and active leads so we can filter them into clients, enter into contracts with them, and close out that deal. Okay, so my status here is going to tell me really how the SMART campaigns work and function. Now, a SMART campaign is really just a pre-created plan of action or pre-created system of follow-up or a pre-created action plan, right? Any of that verbiage that you want. But the point is that it is pre-created. We have a bunch for you. You are welcome to take those and make your own copy and edit them. You are also welcome to build your own from scratch. So there's lots of things that you can do with a SMART campaign. The SMART campaign for new leads looks at your new leads like they are brand new to you, right? I don't know anything about them. They came in from a property boost that I purchased, or they came in from a landing page that I did, or they came in through realtor.ca that I connected into kvCORE, right? They're a brand new lead, right? And if you think about any of those leads that you've gotten in the past, you don't know how motivated they are. You don't know if they're actually interested in real estate or if they were just curious as to what their neighbor's house is listed for. Like, you don't really know what they need. You need to respond quickly to them, and you want to figure out their needs as soon as possible so that way you're giving them information that's really relevant to them. That's your goal with your new lead: speed to lead and finding out what they need so you can give them relevant info and start building up your trust and your relationship. So that's what the new lead SMART campaign does. It immediately gives you a task and schedules a call so that way you reach out right away. Immediately it does that. And then if you can't get there, no worries, we will send out a text message in 7 minutes. Okay. And then it has a pretty high cadence for the first 10 days, and then it slows down, right? Because we're trying to get to know them. We're also trying to get them to know who we are. So they answer my phone call and respond to my text messages and return my emails and actually talk to me. So that's how new leads are managed, right? They're brand new. We're trying to figure it out. High contact. Once that new lead does talk to me, then I can figure out where they really truly belong. So they may really truly belong as a prospect, right? So I would move them to prospect. I would just click on that status and it's going to move them to the appropriate prospect and put them to the appropriate SMART campaign. So if someone is a prospect, they're no longer new. I know something about them now. And the thing that I know is that they are definitely interested in real estate. That's all I know. I might know much more, but that's what makes them a prospect instead of a new lead. I am sure they're interested in real estate. Now, this prospect might be a prospective buyer. Maybe they're waiting for their rental lease to end to buy a house. Maybe they're in a credit repair program. Maybe they're an investor and they're looking to pick up a couple multifamily property homes. Maybe they are, all kinds of things. Maybe this prospect is a prospective seller. So maybe they, are promise their kid they wouldn't sell until they're done with high school, or maybe they are a for sale by owner. Like, these people are ready to sell. They're just not selling with you right now. right? So that's a prospect, as they are interested in real estate. Another example could be open house leads, people that you meet at an open house. So many prospects. Prospects really benefit the most from sending out like mass emails and mass text messages and just kind of fishing out there, poking the bear to see who's going to respond to you. And the people who respond to you, that's who you work with. Right now, once they do start responding to you, whether they're prospects or new leads, then they become active. Right, active leads, I want them to have a little bit more tailored response system, right? I'm leading the charge now, but kvCORE is still going to help me. kvCORE is still going to give me a once a week reminder to talk to Tiffany here. That's my smart campaign. So those are the smart campaigns for those three. Then I work them into clients. We enter into a contract with offers and counteroffers and transaction management systems, oh my, and we close out our deal. That year, we spend high touches asking for referrals and asking for feedback. And then at the end of that year, we transition that person to my sphere of influence. Now, someone could be a close client that transitions into my sphere. Someone can start in my sphere, right? They can be my friends, my family, my neighbors, my past clients from 3 years ago. They can be a new lead who said, oh, I was just spying on my neighbor's house. No problem. Let's put you into my sphere, build a relationship, and get referrals from you. Right. So that's my status along the client journey, combined with the type of deal that they might be. Two that I did not mention is vendor and agent. Vendors are likely going to be people who are real estate adjacent. They are title reps and loan officers and stagers, photographers, right? People who you are going to give referrals to and hopefully get referrals from as well. Agents you might have in here as your sphere or your prospects if you're growing a team. They'd be your sphere if you could say, hashtag Newport agent, hashtag Ottawa agent, hashtag, buyer's agent in this area, hashtag I liked working with them, hashtag I did not like working with them, right? Those hashtags are your own personal labels, right? How would I tell my prospect seller who's a for sale by owner apart from my prospect seller who is, just not going to sell for 2 years? Hashtags, right? Don't count on yourself to remember it. Have a meeting with this person and then add a hashtag. Hashtags are your own personal labels, okay? So any information that you want to add and you want it to be searchable, you can do that with a hashtag. Okay, I'll stop there. Pause for questions. I know I just talked a lot at you. The biggest thing here to think about is as you change them along their client journey, it makes sense that it's going to change how you talk to them, right? Because I'm not going to talk to my clients the same way I talk to my sphere, right? My sphere, I talk to them every once or twice a quarter. My clients, I talk to like every day. Every other day, maybe. So it makes sense that my smart campaign or my pre-created follow-up system is not the same for those people because I don't talk to them the same. Now, while I'm in here, I can also scroll back in time and see all of my history with Tiffany, right? So I can see a text message that I sent to her. I can see, okay, that wasn't sent because it was a landline. So now she's unsubscribed from text messages, which we can see over there. I can see the properties that she looked at the last time she was on my site. I can see the emails that I've sent her way. I can see the calls that I've made or the calls that she's made to me. So I can see all this information in here. Right? Again, more properties that she's looking at. I can see all of that in my history with her. Now, on the right-hand side, I can take action. I can call her. I can schedule something for the future. I can add a note about when we went to coffee and had a chat about real estate. I can send her an email. I can even use a template if I'm not sure what to say, like post call email one. I just wanted to touch base, see what your plans are moving forward. I have some time today or tomorrow to discuss our next steps. Would it be okay if I gave you a call? Let me know what your schedule looks like. That's more of like a pre-call email, but yeah. There's more actions in here too. So if you wanted to task yourself, for example, maybe I'm going to send that email and schedule a call and then task myself to send another email after. Maybe I want to, maybe I have doubles of someone, I want to merge their contact, right? Here I have their personal email, and then they went to my website and registered with their professional email. No worries, I just merged the two together. So all kinds of actions that I can take here. One thing that I love on here is this core video. Did anyone check out core video? Go ahead and raise your hand or put in yes in the chat. Who tried out core video? So core video is one of my favorite pieces of the kvCORE puzzle, right? As you're thinking about how you want to interact with your leads and your contacts, I love core video because video is just a great way to build a rapport with someone, right? Hearing your voice builds more rapport than reading an email or a text message. Seeing your face and reading your body language builds even more rapport than that. That's why I love core video. Now, it's free. There is a pro version, but every one of you has the free version. Honestly, I would write this down on your monthly task list, wherever you keep that. You can send 10 videos each month for free. Jot that down and make sure you get that done every month. That means I can look at Tiffany here and I can record a video just for Tiffany and send it to her. And then I can go to somebody else on my timeline here, maybe Jenna, record a core video just for Jenna and send it to her. And now I've used 2 for this month. The paid version, now I do not make commission. I love this thing. The paid version allows you to create a video library. That's why I like it so much. Save those vocal cords. It also allows you unlimited video messages. You can mass send them. So instead of just sending them to one, you can even send them from your mobile app. So it makes it really, really easy to connect in a modern way with your leads and your contacts. So this is like your action center. This is what are you doing to connect with your lead and your contact? And as I scroll down, I can see what kvCORE is doing to connect with my lead and my contact. Now, Jenna here is on all kinds of follow-up. My the big three follow-up systems, I'm going to chat this out. Big three follow-up systems are smart campaigns, which we've talked about, search alerts, AKA listing alerts, AKA property alerts, right? All the same thing. And market reports. Those are the big three. In my opinion, you want everyone on at least one, if not two of those. Right? And you can pick and choose what those two are. You can pick and choose what that combination looks like. Maybe you want your clients on a different combination than your prospects. That's totally fine. That is up to you. So as you are looking at them, those are the top three right here. And it's really easy to find who needs to be added to that, right? So I'm going to show you that. We've looked at our dashboard a little bit, right? My dashboard shows me who's currently active, who's been, who did I make a listing presentation for in Core Present, who looked at a market report lately, who requested information from one of my properties, who scheduled a viewing, right? Showing me, here we go, who's looking at things. It's also giving me my calls that are scheduled for today and my tasks that are scheduled for today. So my dashboard tells me what I need to get done today. Now I can go to the Smart CRM and manage my leads from here as well. I can go in order of the newest person, right? The newest person is always going to be on top here for you. I could also filter for a group of people. So maybe today I want to look at all of my active leads, scroll down to the bottom and apply that filter, and spend some time today calling all of my active leads that I haven't called yet, right? And then I'll go to my new leads, apply that filter. Who are my new leads I haven't called yet? Now, with online leads, you don't always get a phone number, so you could add another filter in here. New leads and their contact details show me they have a phone number, right? Clear that out a little bit. So I go from 24 contacts to 8, right? So now I can call my 8 people with phone numbers. So different things like that. Awesome. So Curtis brought up something for BombBomb. That's great. So for the 14 people who have BombBomb through the office, he's figuring out an integration with BombBomb and kvCORE and should have an update for next week. That's excellent, Curtis. All right. Excellent, excellent. Very cool. All right. Some of the filters in here, write this down. If you are taking notes, on the left-hand side under behavior, this is my favorite filter. Favorite. There's a lot of good ones in here, but favorite is under this behavior section because you can easily see who is or who is not on those big 3, right? Search alerts, market reports, smart campaigns. Search alerts, market reports, and smart campaigns. So I can easily see who does not have a running campaign, right? Let me apply that filter. And a whole group of people, 129 contacts. That means that they will forget me. They will, right? Only 3 of my contacts are going to remember who I am, right? That is not great. All these other people are going to forget me. Now, couple things to note here. One, when you do your bulk import next week, you can add smart campaigns automatically, right? So it is entirely possible to move your contacts in here with very low numbers showing up without a smart campaign. You can take care of it, right? Make it easy, okay? You can also, instead of adding them one at a time, add them to a whole group of people. I personally can only show you 10 leads at a time. That is a constraint on my demo account. You can actually click on this rose button on the right-hand corner, and you can actually change that all the way up to 250 people. So you can look at 250 people at a time. So maybe I click on Kennedy here, who's an active lead, and Tiffany, who's an active buyer, and Bob, who's an active seller, and Jamie, who's an active buyer and seller, and Cindy, right? So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can go to my more actions, and I can add a smart campaign to that whole group of people, right? So you can, if you do your bulk import and choose not to add smart campaigns at that time, that's totally okay. In fact, it's completely normal. You just then want to add into your workflow to add people to smart campaigns on a regular basis. 10 people a day, 30 people a day, whatever that number is for you, that's just fine. Okay. So again, write this down in your filters under behavior. Those are your big 3. That's where you can go to see who's not going to be engaged with you, who is going to forget you. Now, I was very specific about that verbiage, unengaged. For those of you who are doing the agent quick start, you may have heard that verbiage before because in our section 2 action items, we talk about looking up people who are unengaged, right? Look at people who are not responding to you. Look at people who, might forget who you are otherwise. And again, your bulk import, you can have that on automatically. It's also up to you. Like if you don't want your clients on a smart campaign, they don't have to be. You just then want to think about how you're going to follow up with them. right? The key is follow up, whether you're automating it through smart campaigns or you are taking control of that yourself, either one is fine. But the system is going to make it easier for you to follow up because you can send emails, text messages, video messages if you have that paid version en masse, or you can follow up individually, or you can automate it with smart campaigns. Okay, so make sure you keep an eye on who's not on campaigns, who's not on market reports, and who's not on alerts. Market reports, when you go to add people to market reports, one, people can go to your website and sign up for market reports themselves. Two, if someone's not on a market report, you can send them an email or even a text, and you can make sure to include in that email a link to sign up for your market reports, right? So grab that link from your kvCORE site and put that here in this email, right? Hey, I've noticed you're not getting market reports. Click, let me know what area you'd like it for. I can set it up for you. Or, hey, I've noticed you're not getting market reports. Click here and set them up for yourself so you're, have a finger on the pulse of what's happening in the real estate market. Right? So send them an email, have them do it themselves. Or two, look in their profile and just add it for them. You can have a bunch of market reports. You pick the location, so city, county, zip code, postal code, province, neighborhood, any of those locations will work. And you decide how often that report will get sent out, every 7 days, every 14, every 21 or 28 days. And once you add it in, so if I put one in here, I can even choose to send it right now, so I'm top of their inbox. Right? And then I can view it so I know what it looks like. Right? I send them a report, I view the report, I can view the email exactly that they got, call them about it, text them about it, put a task reminder to go in and talk to them about it, whatever it is. And the third of my big three is my property alerts. Same thing, I can filter here who does not have a search alert. Look at their record. Now, adding search alerts, I can do that in a lot of ways too. I can go in here and I can manually add them to an alert. Right? Click Add Alert, set them up on a search alert, decide how often they're going to get it, and save that alert. That's the most specific, but it's also the most time consuming. The other option is to send them an email similar to the market report. Hey, I noticed you're not getting, regular updates of listing inventory. Is there a certain area you'd like me to send you properties for? Great. How often would you like to get those? Or, excellent. I know you live here, so I set you up to get properties once a week. Let me know if you want me to change any of that. So send them an email. You can also send them an email with a link to your website, right? As someone looks at properties on your site, it'll have them register as a lead. Now, how many of you did add yourselves in or someone else as a test lead? Go ahead and raise your hand. Chat in yes, chat in no. Awesome. Couple hands up, couple hands up. Couple more. I like it. I like it. Yeah, it's definitely important, right? So I've had you write down one thing today, right? I've had you write down how important these filters are, right? This behavior section, these unengaged leads. The other thing I want you to not just write down, but get done, add yourself, a friend or family member in here as a contact, right? Make sure you give permission to call, text, and email them. So that way you can go in here and push the buttons, add a hashtag to them, change their status, look and see at the smart campaign activity, add them to a search alert, edit that search alert, right? And then, make sure it's someone, let them know, hey, I'm trying out a new system. I'm going to send you a bunch of emails. Like, don't worry, you don't need to respond, or ask them to respond. That's even better. Hey, I'm going to send you a text from my smart number. It's me. If you could respond so I know what that looks like, I would really appreciate that. Right? So maybe Danielle is one of my good friends. I'm going to send her a text message. Hey, Danielle, can you please respond to this? It's Christina from Inside Real Estate. I have this new system. It comes with this new number. Let me know what you think. Right? So just interact with them. Have them go to your website and look at it. Different things like that. Okay. One thing I haven't showed you yet is in your filters, you can actually save filters. Right? So if you're like, Christina, I'm never going to remember to do this, then do it today. Come in here and make a filter for people who don't have search alerts or market reports and save that filter. No alerts, no market reports. I like to call those housekeeping filters, right? Who is missing information that I want? And then I can save that filter, right? Another housekeeping filter might be contact details, no hashtags. If people don't have hashtags, it's safe to say I don't know much about them, right? So save that filter, housekeeping, no hashtags, right? And so these housekeeping, it's just like, oh, I already have this name. So let me add just some exclamation points. There we go. Right? Housekeeping is just, you're working your filter. When I say work your filter, I mean, filter for a group of people and then reach out to them. Poke that bear, send them an email, send them a text, give them a call, change their search alerts, right? Do something to try to get their attention. Okay. Look for who has a birthday or who doesn't. There's all kinds of fun filters in here for you to find ways to communicate and follow up with your leads and your contacts. All right, questions about search alerts? Search alerts, I almost forgot. You can add those in your bulk import. So each person can have a custom individualized search alert attached to them when you do your bulk import. Or you can just tell us, hey, I want everyone on this list to get this search alert, this city with this price point and at least 3 bedrooms, like just put everyone on the same alert. You can do that. You can also do that by giving them a hashtag or a label, right? We should have to pre-create it that way. So we're going to head to marketing. And in here, I have my search alerts. So I can make a search alert of criteria of my choosing that will apply to anyone who then receives a hashtag that I create. So maybe I'm going to create an alert, and this is going to be clean up my CRM alert, right? And so I'm just going to add a general alert. I'm going to put a county. You could put province would be too big for a county, but you can do province, you can do city, you can do a postal code, anything like that. I'm down here where I have zip codes. I'm going to do a zip code. There we go. And I want these properties to all have a water view, right? And I want them all to be under $1 million. And I want this to go out twice a week. I'm going to add in that alert. So now I can go and I can add hashtag clean up my CRM alert to anyone in my CRM that doesn't have a search alert. And it's going to add an alert to them for me, right? They're all going to be on the same alert, but that's okay. All right, I go to my filters. I look at my behavior, who does not have a search alert. I apply that. It's going to think about it for a second. There we go. I'm going to pick everyone on my page, which again, for me is only 10 people. And I'm going to go to more actions. I'm going to add that hashtag. Clean up my CRM alerts. And I update those tags, and then it's going to start sending them search alerts. So pretty cool, a good way to go in and just kind of do some cleanup, right? Make sure everyone is on some kind of alert because you want to make sure they're on search alerts through kvCORE. When they're on search alerts through kvCORE, it's going to send them back to your kvCORE website. And the more they're on your website, the more they're going to associate you with real estate. The more you are going to become the person they go to when they have questions. Also, you get all kinds of insight, right? Remember our dashboard, which showed us all these properties? This is only because they're interacting on my kvCORE site. If I was sending this through my MLS, I don't get this kind of insight in here. So I want as many people as possible, especially new leads and prospects and active leads, things that, they are not yet my client. I want lots of insight into what they're doing. So I want to be looking at that here. All right. Last thing to touch on is smart campaigns. So if we head down to marketing, we have our lovely smart campaigns. There's so much here to explore that we just don't have time to go through, right? You can send birthday wishes and happy home ownership anniversaries. You can set that to go up automatically. You can pre-schedule mass emails, like every holiday for the next 2, 3, 4, 7 years. You can just pre-schedule that. Maybe you're having an open house, so you're going to announce it today and then schedule a reminder email to go out on Saturday because I don't expect anyone to remember. Right? So we are going to dive into our smart campaigns. Okay, so if you click manage campaigns, all these campaigns will open up for you. There's 3 tabs here. My campaigns, the kvCORE library, and templates. Okay, so templates, we're going to start at the end. Templates, those are all those individual emails that are available for you to send out. You can look at one, clone it, make changes to it, and then you have your very own copy. Personally, anytime I make a copy, I add in my initials and then I clone and save it. So that way I always know what's mine. So templates are the individual emails, the individual text messages, the individual tasks that you can use at any time. When you build those templates together, that's when you get a smart campaign, right? So not just an individual email or just an individual task, but okay, day 1, I meet you and I'm given a task to talk to you. And then on day 2, an email goes out on my behalf and I'm scheduled a call. And then on day 3, nothing happens. On day 4, a text goes out to you and I'm scheduled a call, right? Then it becomes a system. So in the kvCORE library, you can see all of the systems that we have created for you. I think there's 27 in here. Yep, 27. So we have 27 campaigns in here that you are welcome to use at any point. You just add them into your user library. Once they're in your library, you can look at my campaigns. Now we have some in here for you to get started. We have I think it's our top 10 default campaigns in here that you are welcome to utilize. For example, one campaign that we have in here is the closed campaign, right? This default closed. Now I need to clean mine out. I apologize. I have so many versions, but you will see just this one default closed. So this is the system default for contacts whose status is closed. So as you change the status to closed, this smart campaign is going to attach. It's designed for everyone, buyers, sellers, renters, vendors, agents, etc. There's a status change in here. There's scheduled calls, sent emails, sent text messages. There's 8 total touches. It's set always run? No. And it is currently on. The status of this campaign is that it's running. People are getting this communication from me. And it's scoped for the company. So these last 3, let's review those. Always run. So you'll notice on here that I also have a closed status for everyone campaign, right? So that matches this one, closed all, closed all. This one was created by the company, which means that I cannot make edits to it. I already had people on it though, so I definitely want to keep that campaign running. Oops, right? So I want to leave it on. However, now that I have my own user one, as I close someone's file, as I change their status to closed, technically they qualify here and they qualify here. So always run means, okay, this one is more specific. So we don't need this one to apply. No, thank you. It does not need to always run. This is a default campaign. We've got something better, more specific. So no, thank you to this one. That's what always runs means. It's going to pick the most specific campaign that that person qualifies for. Okay. Same thing. Look, if they were closed and they were a renter, then they qualify for this one, they qualify for this one, and they qualify for this one. But since I have them all set to always run no, my closed renter will only go on this one smart campaign because I don't want them on all of them. Questions there? All right, I'm going to show you how to make your own user version. So you can look right in here in My Campaigns and clone a campaign. You can also go to the kvCORE library as we looked at. And let's see, what's one I don't have right now? Let's do open house. I don't think I have that one in there yet. I might. So I've got open house and yep, let's just add that into my library. Now I go to My Campaigns and I'm going to search for open house because I don't like to scroll. And oh man, too many. Okay, so this will be my new one, the one that's on the bottom. Right, and so now this is scoped for the user. I made it, which means that I can click on its name and I can make edits and changes as I see fit. And when I'm ready to use it, I turn it on. So this campaign is for people specifically who come from the Open House app. When they come in through the Open House app, 4 hours later, kvCORE will send them an email. Excuse me, that's a text message. We'll send them a text message. I can edit this at any time, and I can make it say something different. Hi, first name, Christina Hampton here. It was a pleasure meeting you at the open house. Feel free to text me here anytime if I can help in any way. In the meantime, can I set you up for automated property alerts from our site so you don't miss any solid deals? Perfect. I like that. Now here's a quick hint for you. When you use the Open House app, we do this automatically for you, right? So no extra work. The next day, an email goes out. I can read it. Hi, first name. Thank you for visiting me this weekend at the open house. I would love to answer any questions you have about the property or any other property you might have your eye on. I would love to sit down with you for a quick consultation about your needs and how I can help. Please feel free to respond to this email, give me a call, or send me a text for more information. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Great. Now, if I do want to make any changes, I can do that. So maybe I do a lot of during the week open houses. So thanks for visiting me at the open house. Right now, I've made a new template, so I do need to rename it. So open house email any day of the week with my initials, right? Super simple. I save that. And now I've made changes here. So smart campaigns are pre-created plans of action for you. I recommend that you pick one and do a deep dive on it. Look at the statuses, right? All the way back here from the dictionary and say, okay, which status do I struggle with most as an agent? Is it keeping in contact with my sphere? Is it going through enough new leads to convert them into deals? Is it remembering my active leads in the busyness of life? Where do I struggle the most? Read over that smart campaign and make any changes you want to it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to edit smart campaigns at all, ever. You can simply use the ones that we have. My personal preference is to edit the first email and text message of your new lead campaign. I would do that. I would. And then anything else is up to you. So we covered a lot today, right? I can hardly remember the beginning of the hour. We talked about our profile, we talked about our smart number, we talked about our dashboard and completing our calls and tasks. We talked about going to our smart CRM and filtering for whoever it is we want to work today, whether that's people without hashtags or sellers with phone numbers, or even people who've been to my website in the last week. We can then work those leads with mass communication or work those leads individually. We can also make sure people are optimized and fully powered up on the automation within kvCORE. Two of the main systems, we explored those as well with search alerts and smart campaigns. Again, if you do not have a test lead in here, that should be the first thing you do after we're done here, right? Adding in that test lead is really going to make sure that you know how to push these buttons for yourself. What does a task look like when it's scheduled for me? What does a call look like when it's scheduled for me? So I know how to get them done. So that's it for the day. Next week, we are going to go over new leads as well as your website. Steve, yes, absolutely. This webinar is being recorded. It's going to be posted right in kvCORE right here by the end of the day. That's my day. I am West Coast, so only an hour behind, but it'll be right here. So you'll be able to find it posted in the company announcements by the end of the day. Any other questions for me? Good, glad you liked it. Yeah, and there's a lot of info. So I just want to remind you that you don't have to do everything at once. If today just made you more confident in how the system works and you said, okay, I get it, Christina, I'm going to add in a test lead and I'm going to go do that, that's great. Right? The more you're in kvCORE, the more you're taking the training, the more you're doing the activities, the more comfortable you'll be in here. Right? And my job is to get you started. But there's so much you can do after that, from rewatching the videos to exploring new training options, to exploring new courses and new live sessions and new strategies and all kinds of good stuff. So we are just focusing on the Agent Quick Start. Thank you all for your time today. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you all next week at noon Mountain Time. Have a great day.